Hey guys, let's build some major chords. Now in this lesson, I'm going to assume you guys haven't really dived into music theory yet. So if you haven't learned your notes on the staff, totally fine. If you haven't learned your major scales yet, great, we don't need that stuff here. I will say though that the types of chords that we're going to be creating, they're major quality, but they're also something called triads. Now a triad, in its simplest definition, is just a 3-note chord. Just like a triangle has 3 sides, and a tricycle has 3 wheels, or the Triforce in Zelda has 3 sources, a triad simply has 3 notes in it. How are we gonna do this? Trusty old pencil and paper, baby! Now in music, our musical alphabet takes the notes A through G, so I'm just gonna write out these letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and these correspond to the white keys on a piano. Now the black keys are the notes in between some of these notes, and not every note has a note in between. Between A and B, we have A sharp or B flat. It's the same note but a different name depending on which scale we're in. Then between C and D, we have C sharp and D flat, D sharp and E flat between D and E, and F sharp and G flat between F and G, and finally G sharp and A flat between G and A. Now the notes that are directly next to each other, like A and B flat, or B flat and B, are called semitones, and 1 semitone is going to equal 1 half step. 2 semitones is going to equal 1 whole step. So if we look at this a little more visually, notes like C to C sharp have a half step between them, or C sharp to D, and E to F, and A flat to A. The notes like A to B have a whole step between them, or C to D, and E flat to F, and also G to A. These are all whole steps. Now why does this become important? Well, our major scale pattern is going to be 2 whole steps, and also a whole step and a half step. So we're going to take a note, we're going to find the note that's 2 whole steps above it, and then we're going to find the note that's a whole step and a half step above it. So let's do this with C major. We're going to start with the note C, and we're going to find the note that's 2 whole steps above, which in this case is E, and then take the note that's a whole step and a half step above that, which is G. So our notes for a C major chord are C, E, and G. Now let's do the same thing for G major. We're going to start with G. We're going to get the note that's 2 whole steps above it, and that's B, and find the 3rd note, whole step and a half step above, that's D, and we have G, B, and D. We can do the same thing for D major. Start with D, 2 whole steps gets us to F sharp, and then a whole step and a half step gets us up to A. And those are our notes for D major. We can do the same thing with an A major chord. We'll start with our A, we'll go up 2 whole steps, and that brings us to C sharp. We go up a whole step and a half step, brings us to E, and there's our 3 notes. And let's do another one last example. B flat major. We're going to start with a B flat. We're going to go up 2 whole steps, which brings us to D, and a whole step and a half step brings us up to F. And there's our notes. So how does this relate back to our instruments? Well, let's find out. One of the examples we had was the chord C major, and in this chord we have 3 notes, C, E, and G. We can find all the C's, E's, and G's on the guitar or on the piano, play them all at once, and we've created a C major chord. So, for example, I can have this C major, or this one, or this one. Maybe I don't want to just play 3 notes at a time, just the C, E, and G, and I can double some of them. For example, this chord. This has C, E, G, C, E. 5 strings, but still the same 3 notes. Or using all 6 strings with this chord. C, G, C, E, G, C. Still just the same 3 notes every time. There's another one. And another. And one more. Maybe I'm in a progressive metal band and I like to create chords that maybe not a lot of people can reach or play. So I'll play something like this. So we got C, G, E, E. The E's are doubled here and it gives you that nice high sounding chord. Maybe I'm in a math rock band and I like tapping out some of my chords. So I can take the C and G here and the E and G up here and create a nice voicing like that. Right? So that's really it. Find your notes and create those chords. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it and how to create these chords. If you enjoyed this content or enjoyed this video, why not subscribe or even leave me a comment on things that you would want to see in the future. I'll see you all next week.